Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Okay, thank you, Danny, for joining us. You are flying the flag for Britain. I could say England, but I'll say Britain, you see, because, you know, I know it's with, like, tennis, with Andy Murray. If he does shit, he's Scottish. But if he does well, he's British. So I think, you know what, I think everyone should just be British and then there's no arguments then. But you're flying the flag, you're facing Nathan Coy. Kudos to him for stepping up and stepping in. It's always good when shit like that happens, when a guy falls through. This is your debut, mate. Tell you what, it feels like a long time.
Yeah, it does, to be fair. And on a personal level, I would have loved to have obviously it been a shorter time, but I'm physically in the best shape of my life. I'm entering my prime years. I'm feeling like a force to be reckoned with right now, so I couldn't have asked for a better time, realistically, to be in a position that I'm in within my MMA career. So yeah, it feels perfect right now.
Because you made a big bang at Cage Warriors in that fucking nuts fight with Jimmy Wallhead. Let's be honest, that was insane, that fight, man. And you know, you got your statement in, you know, and everyone was kind of like, okay. I you know, I think everyone else was thinking, okay, Danny's getting the next shot at the welterweight title. Then obviously Cage Warriors kind of went away, and everyone was thinking, what's everyone going to do? So everyone was kind of wondering what was going to happen with all the fighters, and no one knew where everyone was going. And the same with you, kind of went off the radar, and then all of a sudden you were Blackzilians and UFC and all this stuff, and then you finally get the fight announced. So I'm happy that you're fighting, and also it's quite convenient because where you're fighting, it's only around the corner. Sorry, not around the corner. Sorry, where you're training is in the States now, so it's not like you're traveling overseas. So that I think Neil Seary pointed out when we had him on. He said it did actually take a toll, that traveling. So you know it's not that bad for you now. It's only a few hours, I would have thought, on a flight, is it?
Yeah, it's a 3-hour time difference between Florida and obviously Vegas. It's a 5-hour flight, so I come here early. I've been here for a week already. And yeah, like I say, I've had plenty of time to get rest, get accustomed to my surroundings, and get settled in, and just mentally get myself prepared. So like I say, yeah, it has been a good time. It's been perfect. And again, it reassures me and it backs up to that preparation for the whole journey from start to finish for this camp. It's been perfect.
And training with Blackzilians, you know, obviously it's hard to see your improvement yourself each day you train, because you don't notice if you're getting any faster, you don't know if you're getting any sharper. Do you watch footage back of yourself, or have you heard, or do you notice your improvements yourself, or do you have to just listen to your coaches saying, actually, you're not as bad as we thought you were?
Yeah, well, like I say, initially, we've come from the UK, and what the current situation was with the MMA scene, obviously with Cage Warriors, what happened with them. Yeah, I was kind of like hot poppy at the time, and obviously I was looking to really just carry on dominating and pushing up the ranks, destroying people. That's all I ever have on my mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, going over to the Blackzilians and basing myself over there, realizing that I kind of needed the more dynamic, diverse sort of aspects of the game to be covered with different coaches who are kind of all got their own separate disciplines, and they've got the world's best in there. Do you know what I mean? Between Neil Melanson, Henry Hoof, George Santiago, Greg Jones, the training partners are all at high level. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, iron sharpens iron. So being able to go out to the States and situate myself over there was one of the best things I've done. And as well as that, like I say, and for any fighter, we'll know if you cut off all of the all of the small things that can kind of lead you off the path of having a perfect fight camp. I never had any of that. No distractions. They were all gone. And it was a matter of just concentrating on who I am as a fighter, as an athlete. No stress, no strain. Go in the gym, train day in, day out, and just really progress as an athlete. So, like I say, yeah, it was perfect for me to make that transition. So I find it really easy. And as I got further on through the time, I really started to notice that I was developing it as an athlete, like I say. And when I first got there, because there was an amount of time between leaving Cage Warriors, leaving the UK, and getting over to obviously the States, it was all paperwork. Do you know what I mean? It's getting my visa, so I can go over there and I can get situated, get based. yeah, there was times where I was finding it hard to get my training in and get my needs, what I needed as a professional athlete. And my dedication, my attention, if anything, was elsewhere, and it needed to be at the time to be able to make sure that them small things were kind of just like were looked after. And they were ready. So when I went over to the States, I would know exactly where I was with myself, and then I really could truly concentrate. So yeah, initially the first couple of months was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Getting used to that weather. The coaches will tell you they're back up this, and I quote, for the first 3 weeks I was throwing up every other day in the gym. I was getting pushed to the bone. They got elite level athletes in there. They got some top 10 guys. But it was a learning curve, and it was something that was a test to myself through heart and mentally. Do you know what I mean? And as time went on, I went back home for a couple of weeks. My old teammates will tell you, the likes of Dean Garnett, down in Aspire Sports Academy. I was putting people away in sparring, and I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? I've been training with Henry Hoof. My striking's become a lot more dynamic through my kicks, my punches, my shots, and mixing up with my ranges and things like that. So yeah, I went back. I spent 2 weeks at home. I've obviously just had a little baby boy as well, so that was the reason why I went home, to go and kind of catch up and be there for the birth of him. And then come back out and start working on obviously my future and his future, to sort of solidify that. So yeah, for me, going back home for a couple of weeks, that's what really showed that after being out in the Blackzilians for 4 months and going home for 2 weeks, that showed a big step in my game. I was fit, I was sharp, I was more dynamic, I was more aware of different positions within martial arts, and like I say, the aspects of each discipline. Do you know what I mean? And then going back, it was a case of, right, I know I'm a better athlete. Now what else can we do? So then I've come back. I've had a good camp. I'm here in Vegas today. We're looking forward to the 10th on Thursday. And like I say, I feel like I'm a force to be reckoned with. I feel like I'm a machine right now. Mentally, I've been working on a mind sports coach as well. I've initially started with from before the Jimmy Warhead fight, which a lot of people, especially in the elite level at the top, I think a lot of the elite level athletes will all agree mentality is a massive part of the game.
Huge.
When you're at the top, when you're at the top, you really do need to kind of be in tune with where you are with yourself and where you are placed in life mentally, and spiritually. Do you know what I mean? So, like I say, hats off to my sports coach back home. He's based down in the Somerset.
Is that Rob? Is that Rob?
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, we had Rob on the podcast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we had him on about.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, we had him on about 4 weeks ago. I wanted to get him on for ages, and it was just with booking with guys on. And I've spoke for Rob for a long time, and he's like you say, top guy, absolute top guy. And I think it's vital. I thought it was vital to get him on to make people understand how important it was. Your mind is a weapon. If you don't have your mind in the right place, how can you go in there with a guy that wants to rip your head off, basically, and perform to your best? It's not going to happen.
Yeah. I've always said, like, one thing that he's done for me is he's really, I've had a mad childhood. I've had a crazy upbringing, and there's been a lot of things that have really, it turned me into the man that I am today. Through like trials and tribulations as a kid, and just like say sacrifices and things like that, and really trying to like look after my family and be a strong character. So it led me to fighting, and then to be able to turn all my inner fears into strengths. Rob's done that for me, so now I feel like I've got nothing to fear. I've got nothing to lose. I am 100% in control of who I am and where I'm going to be in the future. So hats off to him, and like I say, we're a great team together. I think we're going to really make an impact in the 170 division within the UFC.
Well, that's the thing, that the welterweight division in the UK, I was speaking to Alex Enlin about it, and we were saying it's probably one of the most rich-filled quality guys there is. If you think about the 170 division, the UK, probably 170 is probably one of the better weight classes. You've got yourself, who's signed up, you've got Lou Long. There's a handful of guys that, even Kurt Warburton's decided to go up to welterweight now. Colin Fletcher's went up to welterweight. There's a handful of guys that are all, that 170 division, it's starting to really fill out in the UK, and it's quite an exciting time, I think. I think it's quite a good time to be fighting and enjoying the 170 division.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like you say, even within the UK and obviously within the world renowned, it is like that. Within the UFC, it's stacked. I feel like it's nice to be able to be within the toughest divisions to really kind of test yourself in that sense. And like I say, I'm really kind of big on the whole mind aspect and testing myself. So I want to be in the toughest division. I'm only going to prove to myself that I am better than any other division or any other person anywhere else. So I really want them tests sort of yearly and to be able to day by day go through rigorous training and to be able to see what I can do as a 170 fighter. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. I noticed Dean Garnett went to Blackzilians as well for a little bit with you to train, didn't he? I noticed. I saw some of the postings on Instagram or something like that a little while back. How come he didn't?
Yeah.
Is it because of the gym that was set up? Is that why he obviously went back? Did he just come for a little bit of time?
Yeah, well, we've obviously had a lot of things going on back home with the gym. Now, my thing solely, obviously, where I was in my position in my career, 11-1. I had a big record, and I wanted to pursue my dreams the same way he does. Now, we obviously there's me, Dean Garnett, there's young Aaron Robertson, and then we've got another co-business partner as well, Phil Mottram, who we've all kind of banged their heads together and with all our different professional aspects have all come into one and combined a real great strong team. So while I'm in the States, I'm in the UFC, I'm kind of like an ambassador and a founder for the gym. When I go back, I will be working within the gym, I will be teaching, I will be bringing a lot more to the table. But right now, I'm concentrating on my career. The same way Dean is, but obviously we've had to build the gym, we've had to open it, we've had to do a lot at home. So he's got BA Hons in sports science, nutrition. He's academically, he's one of the smartest guys on the circuit. You know what I mean? He's an intelligent kid. So it's been perfect for him to be where he is and to be sort of getting the gym where it should be. And he's still working. Do you know what I mean? He's still getting his fights in and he's waiting for his opportunity to get back out and to shine. So I don't doubt that for 1 second. He's going to be back out there tearing up in the bantamweight division soon.
Oh no, I agree. He's been doing like K1 fights. I noticed he did like he did a K1 fight, didn't he, at one point? And then he did like a mini tournament recently, and all sorts. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it, you know. And I was going to say, you noticed it, like I said, that he said there's yourself, Dean Garnett. There's you got Paddy Pimblett as well. There's a handful of guys. Adam Ventry is another one. There's a handful of guys in. I'd say the northwest of England that are just coming out and starting to shine a lot more. You know, they're starting to. Handful of cluster of good fighters that are all just starting to blossom in this past. I say past from 2015 up until 2014, sorry, and coming up to 2016. I think you'll see a lot more, not just of yourself, but the other guys as well. You know, I think it's quite a good time. Obviously, Darren Till. I know he's based in Brazil, but his home, so to speak, his home is obviously Liverpool. So it's quite an exciting time to see it, blossom in that sense in that area.
Yeah, definitely. Within the northwest, like I say, obviously I'm within Liverpool. A lot of people don't know, but within the darker days, Adam Ventry, me, Paddy, Dean, we were all training partners, you know what I mean? We've all grown up with each other. We're still family, do you know what I mean? And we still look out for each other. We still speak to each other on a friendly level. I've had messages off them. The love and support that I've had coming from the guys back at home, it's been unreal, do you know what I mean? I can't thank them enough. Even though we've all made transitions on separate ways, and I'm solely concentrating on myself now, being a little bit selfish, but I need to be.
Yeah.
I can't thank them enough for the love and support that they've shown me, do you know what I mean? And they're gonna make waves soon as well. So sooner I'm excited to be able to sort of pass it off and to be able to show them the love back, because it's gonna be there for them soon as well.
Yeah, well, you can't not love Paddy for his hair. Like how do you not love Paddy Pimblett for that haircut?
It's not pop. You can say that.
Oh God, I love that haircut. Absolutely epic he is. I tell you what, his post-fight interviews absolutely priceless as well. That kid is hilarious.
Yeah, the kid absolutely exudes confidence. You know what I mean? Like if you need confidence, you go and see Paddy Pimblett. He'll give you some. You know what I mean? I find him a funny character as well. He always keeps me entertained, keeps me on the edge of my seat. You know what I mean? Quick-witted, got a quick tongue.
Yeah.
He likes to be a little bit disrespectful to people, but I understand everyone's got their own style.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the kid for who he is. You know what I mean? He's a fantastic entertainer within the sport. So he's doing great things for the UK MMA scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't. You know what? I'm looking forward to 2016. Graham bringing Cage Warriors back, because I think we'll see. Paddy and Dean, if they're not snapped up by a bigger promotion, for example, they'll be back there and they'll be pushing for those belts. And that's another good thing for example, for the Northwest. And I think it's exciting times with Cage Warriors being back. To be fair, because look, that's where you really made your, like I say, that's where you made your mark. Your big mark, I think, was Jack Mason.
Yeah, Cage Warriors initially when I first started, I had that first. I had a fight before that with David Howe, which was just a one-fight contract. He was unbeaten. I was on a record. What was my record then? I was unbeaten as well, so we would both go to their head-to-head. He was a confident, cocky kid. I wanted to silence him. Done that, and then obviously I went into the tournament where I obviously initially got my first loss and my only loss on my record, which was in like I said, it's one of 3 fights in one night. Come up against a Russian kid, Sambo champion. Tried to heel hook him at the same time. He caught me with an inverted heel hook. He's the professional at that. Do you know what I mean? I'm the ex-boxer, so he fared a little bit better with that one. And unfortunately, I came out on the bad end of it. But yeah, I came back. Jack Mason was a big step up for me at the time, and it was for me mentally again. And as like I say, from my past and my history. I love to test myself. I love nothing more than to test myself and to really kind of see where I'm at. Because I think tests in life are what you need to really show you who you are as a character and as a person. So for me to be able to step up against Jack Mason was an honour. I ended up being real good friends with the kid after going down to London, training with him. Still speak to him now. And becoming good teammates, like the likes of him, Luke Barnett. And like I say, it was a nice way to come into Cage Warriors with a bang. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And just carry on that run after that. And like you know yourself, I went on and had more fights after. Remained unbeaten within Cage Warriors, and Cage Warriors is an amazing organisation for anyone who aspires from the UK to on the European scene to really kind of get themselves up there. They look after the fighters. They've got a real professional attitude about it. Everything's run smoothly. If you've ever got any problems, you can go and see them. Do you know what I mean? It's one of the elite kind of organisation you want to be with at that sort of stage within your career. And it was perfect for me to be on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to complain. Everything was perfect. I loved it. I was gutted when it left because I was looking to get in that belt. I wanted that belt. I was hungry for the belt. But things happened. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, that's it.
Well, that was the thing. Like you say, you said it is a great place because the guys who go from Cage Warriors to UFC, you don't see them get smoked. Do you know what I mean? You don't see guys go from there to there and go 0-3 is the best way to put it, because they test you there before you even get to the UFC. So you're already hardened. So you had a 3-round you had a decision win against Juan Suarez, I think it pronounced. That was a priceless fight. The experience you got from 3 rounds, you learned a lot about. You probably learned a lot about yourself you probably didn't realize, and there was a lot to take from that fight. That victory itself, the 15 minutes. It's great getting a knockout win in a few minutes in a fight, but getting a good, hard-earned 3-round win set you up. Tell you what, that really must have done you a lot in your fight game.
Yeah, it did. It taught me a lot about myself, but at the same time, going into that fight again, I will say that I kind of got mentally complacent a little bit and a little bit comfortable, and I think fighters do get their off days sometimes. I was coming into the start of that year. I wanted to make a massive statement. You can still get the interviews after that fight, and you hear the way I talk about it and how kind of disappointed I was after I had a pre-fight interview, and I was really bigging up the impact I was going to make at the start of the year, taking people's faces off, and really kind of making an impact as hot chocolate. So yeah, for me, going into the start of that year and fighting with Suarez, he was a tricky customer, I'll tell you that. His jiu-jitsu game was strong, it was outstanding. He was a wiry kind of guy. But like I say, I felt like I had an off night as far as my performance goes. So establishing my stand-up, which I should have done from the off with him, it would have been a whole different story. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was a learning curve for me, and it was a great thing to be able to take away. It's the first time I went the distance over three rounds, so it was good for me to take that away and to be able to learn from it.
Well, that's the thing. Like you say, it was an off day, so you had an off day, and you were still able to have it in you mentally to get that free round in you. So some guys will have an off day and they can't do it; they'll just break. So that's a win-win. You won more than just that victory. That's what I think people won't understand when they look at your record. There was a lot more in that. Then you'll take more out of it.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. People need that sometimes, and like I say, you've got two aspects of it. You might be having an off day, but then still be able to know you can have an off day and perform, like you said yourself. It's something that you can still take away and have credit for. So 100%, yeah, I came away from that fight. I felt like I'd learned something about myself. So just know that, yeah, I can push through if I really do need it. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, off days is something I don't ever want to have now. And this is why I'm really trying to cover all areas and just make sure that every time it comes to the end of the fight camp, weight cut, mentally, physically, I'm finely tuned and I'm ready to go.
I think the way you've been preparing for this fight, this moment, I don't think you probably could have planned it any better. Really, the place you've been training at, obviously with. Your mind coach, everything, hopefully it all falls into place. I won't lie, I'm going to be flying the flag even though I'm on the Isle of Man, I'm across the water, mate. We're in the Isle of Man, you see. I can almost see Liverpool from here, but, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're all brothers at the same time, what I mean? You're not too far away from us. I'm going to be looking to make a statement at the same time, you know what I mean? I really do want to go out and perform. I feel like I've had the recipe for success within the Blackzilians and the athletes I've had around me and the whole preparation towards the fight. So it's just a case of going out and putting the game plan into action. I'm really kind of exploiting what Nathan Coy has got. He's going to bring to the table and really performing. And as you know, I'm always guaranteed to put on an exciting fight, and I'm never a boring fighter, you know what I mean? So, whatever happens, I'm going to make sure that it's going to be one that you don't want to miss.
Yeah, I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to tune in. You've got to, if you got Fight Pass, great. If you haven't got Fight Pass, buy it. I don't know why people don't. I've had it for fucking ages. I've had it before they even brought it out. It's. I have no social life because I blame Fight Pass. It's a nightmare, but
yeah, it's addictive, bro. It's addictive. Since I've been over in the States, I've been wired into it so much more than I was in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
I've still got time in my hands now to be on it, and yeah, I love it, man.
Like, what's that Pride? Go on then.
Yeah. I'll have some of that.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I can't say no. What, Vandalay in his prime when he was juiced up off his tits? I'll watch that. Can't say no. But look, Danny, hey, have a great fight, man. I can't wait to watch it. I'll be tuning in. I know Mike's going to be sat in the crowd, the little hobbit, but it's going to be awesome. Look, before you go, social media, how do people jump on to give you support, maybe follow you, just to see how you get on and stuff?
Social media, my Twitter handle, my Instagram is @DanHotChocolate. My Facebook is down as Danny Hot Chocolate. You can follow me down on there, and I'm being really live and active within all my social media. I really want to try and get all the fans back at home to feel the vibe of what it's like as a UFC fighter, to kind of follow the journey. Because I feel like they all deserve it as well. They've been there, they've showed the support, the love, the backing has been unreal. And like I say, even down to like the messages and like I say, all the support I've been getting has been phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? It's been really it's heartfelt. Do you know what I mean? And it's something for me I hold dearly. So I'm trying to let everyone kind of see what it's like. If you want to follow my journey, like I say, Dan Hot Chocolate, Twitter, Instagram, loads of posts going up there. I'll be active on that. So over the next few days, you want to see what it's like, meet some of the other fighters and stuff like that, then tune in.
Yeah, you guys, gentlemen, do it. Tune in. I'm already on there. I've been following Danny for a little while now. Not in a stalker way. But I will post a picture of Danny on our Facebook page as usual. I will put the social media links on there so you can all jump on if you like to have a look on there. If you can't spell, of course. Yeah. Look, and what about your sponsors, my man? Who's been helping you out with fight camps and just supporting you through this?
Yeah, I want to say a massive thank you to Glenn Robertson from the Blackzilians for initially making giving me the opportunity to be able to make this dream come to realization, and for me to be able to continue on the destructive path that I want to go on. All the boys back at the Blackzilians, my teammates, Andy Johnson, Michael Johnson, been my main training partner for this camp. Unbelievable work rate. He's been there with me. Like I say, all the wrestlers back there. You got Kamaro, Kush, you've got Banks, Able to Real. I want to say a big thank you to all the Blackzilians for everything they've done. The support network team, the coaches, Henry Hoof, Greg Jones, George Santiago, Neil Melanson. There's so many today.
Try not to forget, are you? You're like, ah.
No, hard that, isn't it? I'm trying to remember off the cuff. And yes, it's Jacko have been sponsoring me. I've been making sure that I'm obviously all rigged out, all my kit and stuff like that. Reebok, say a big thank you to them as well for supporting me, for obviously going into the UFC, keeping me looking sharp and on point. And again, yeah, just everyone that's followed me and stuff like that, all my family and friends back at home. Mum, I know you're probably going to be listening to this sooner or later as well. Just want to say I love you, man, and I'm still continuing that journey to give ourselves a better life and to really kind of push up to the highest heights. I'm never going to stop. And to everyone else out there, all the people that aren't supposed to make it, listen, I was the kid that wasn't supposed to make it. And I'm proving to everyone that things can change, things can be done, do you know what I mean? So dream big, dream, believe, achieve, go out there and go and get what you're worth, honest to God, because it can be done. You just need to have great energy, a good work rate, and a good work ethic. Your alarm needs to be your ambition and your drive. That's it.
That's what I like to hear. Great words, my man. Great words. You know what? I don't know how else we can top that, really. I don't think we can. But all I will say is, Danny, have a great time, have a great experience, and just enjoy the week, man. It's just going to be the whole atmosphere. Obviously, there's a buzz, and just absorb it all. Just remember every minute of it, man.
Yeah, you know that I'll be taking great things away from this. And yeah, John, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to yourself as well. Thank you.
No, thank you very much for your time. It's been great. I've enjoyed this very much, mate.